Hey cats, what's happening? Today I was thinking back about camping. We like to camp. We haven't done a lot of camping this year. You've seen some of our camping videos, but going way back when I was just a kid, we didn't have a tent or anything. We'd go in the garage and get my dad's tarp. He had big tarps, you know. They were canvas tarps back then in the 60s or whatever. And we'd make more like a lean-to. So there was just like an open air, wasn't even enclosed, the front was open. We just, or sometimes we would just tie it off to some trees, like a roof over our head, and put some plastic down on the ground and lay our sleeping bags out on there. And I grew up in Hinckley, Ohio, in a very rural area, so we could just go back in the woods and camp wherever we wanted to. And we did that quite often as we were kids. Later, when I had a family, we upgraded to a tent camper. It was like a little single axle, it was called an Apache, and it popped up into a tent, and there was a bed on each side and a little table in the middle. And we pulled that all over the place and camped in that. And then later in life, when I started doing a lot of motorcycling things, of course I reverted back to the pup tent. And I had like a 2-man, and I think it was a bigger than that. I think it was like a 4-man. It was a pretty roomy pup tent. It was a Eureka pup tent, and I would strap that onto the bike and take it with me and sleep on the ground. Now that I'm 64 years old and going up, I don't sleep on the ground anymore. It's too hard. I can't take, my back can't take it, my shoulders can't take it. It's even with an air mattress, it's rough, and you wake up in the morning, you can't hardly even walk. So we've kind of upgraded to, I guess, more of a luxury. Now, I don't think my wife had ever camped at all previously to me meeting her. So when I mentioned going camping, she was like, I don't know about that. I took her camping once, and we slept in the tent, and she loved it. But sleeping on the ground really wasn't her thing, and it was, I was getting tired of it too. So we upgraded. Well, my wife loves our camper. In fact, I think she'd live out here in the driveway if she could.
What are you doing in here? Interrupting my solitude. Hey, beautiful people. I'm just sitting in our camper. The heat's not on, but I like to watch the fireplace.
Oh, you got a fireplace. That's pretty nice to be able to have a fireplace when it's still like...
It's 70 degrees
70
today.
degrees outside. Well, it's like sitting around a campfire.
Well,
huh?
the heat's not on. It's just, you can view the fire.
Blowing. Yeah, it's the blower's not on. The heat's not on. You just have a fire in there. So... we've had this for what, like 3 years?
We got this in 2016. I retired, and the next day we went and bought it.
And we bought it at the RV show. We went to the big RV show up in Cleveland at the IX Center. I think you'll get the best deals on RVs at those kind of shows, rather than going to a dealership to buy one. Unless it's some kind of a twist, I don't know. It seems like everything there is like either a third to a half price of what the manufacturer's lists are. So when we bought this one at the show, they said, no, you're not going to get the show model. We're going to build you a brand new one from the factory.
The show was January, and we took delivery in April.
Yeah, of a brand new one. And still for the show price. So that to us was pretty cool that we were able to do that. And it was all that using a big trailer like this was new to us at the time.
Right, right.
And we started pulling it with our 1500. We realized real quick that that truck, although it could pull it, and it did tow us around on some nice little trips, I had to be very careful driving because the trailer was kind of controlling the truck a little more than it should have been. So as time went on, we had to upgrade our vehicle to a 2500 HD Chevy Silverado, and it made a world of difference pulling this. This trailer is 34 foot long, and the dry weight on it is 7,700 pounds. So dry weight means with nothing in it. Nothing. It has a water tank under the floor that we can fill up. I think it holds somewhere around 50 gallons of water. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to look it up here. But it gives us a water supply. So if we go somewhere that doesn't have water, we have enough water to get us by probably about 3 days. I think we've done easily, and still had some water left over. We usually try to get a site that has electric. Now this trailer has a 30 amp service, and that runs, you know, our fireplace, that runs our microwave, our refrigerator, our TV, and the air conditioning.
Or heat.
And it's got a furnace too. The furnace is propane. So we don't hardly ever use the furnace though.
No, this little fireplace heats it up nice.
Yeah, once you get the fan going on this thing and crank it up a little bit, it'll warm up this tight little space really quick. So we've been pretty happy with that.
We're doing this video kind of as a comparison. If you saw Mark's video about the toy haulers, the difference between having a garage as opposed to having a rear living space.
Yeah, that's right. Now, I just one of our recent videos was about the toy haulers, and it's where they take this rear area and the back end of the trailer would fold down like a ramp, and you could pull your toys right in and strap them down to the floor. This one isn't that, so the back end here is solid. It's a solid wall. It doesn't fold down.
When you hear people say glamping, that's glamorous camping, this is what they're talking about. This is glamorous camping. We have seen people pull into campgrounds with trailers like this, whatever kind of camper, and they never come out the whole time they're there. They stay in because you have all the comforts of home.
That's true. That's true. She's not kidding. We've seen people pull in their backup, set up their trailers, and never get out the entire time. They live inside the thing. I think we like to spend a lot of time outside.
Well, I live for campfire, and then when I come in the evening, that fire goes on.
Yeah. So we have the luxury when we go out camping with this thing. If you want, I know some of you guys are going, that's not camping. Well, okay, it's glamping. We can still go outside, get a campfire going. We can cook over the fire. We can eat at the picnic table. If it's rainy weather, we sit right in here at the dining room and eat.
We can cook in here. We have an oven. We have a stove. We have a microwave. I've made some good meals in here.
We got a full kitchen here. This is our refrigerator. It runs off of propane or electric. It's got a little freezer. And it's not a big refrigerator, but we can fill it up with a lot of goodies to take camping with us. We've got our microwave oven up here. Got a 3-burner gas range that runs on propane. This glass lid just flips all the way up. And then you got your 3 burners there. So we can make breakfasts, we can make dinners if the weather's lousy. If it's cold, rainy out, that works. Oh, it's even got a hood fan up here. Got a light. The hood fan. We got a nice little TV here. And Up on the roof is the antenna for the TV, and you can crank the antenna up and down with this crank here. And we're lucky we can get, what do we get here, like 50 stations? Just right here, with nothing more than just using the antenna up on the roof. So,
and even we can play DVDs. We've had times where it's been a cold, rainy camping trip, and I went to the store and got some DVDs, and we were able to watch the shows.
DVD, CD player, radio. You can have your choice of speakers, A, B, C. What is that? There's rear speakers here. There's front speakers up there. And C is the outdoor speakers. There's 2 speakers outside. Now we do put the outside speakers on. We turn it down a little bit so our neighbors don't have to hear our music. We've been camping where some of the neighbors have theirs blasting, and it's like, okay, well, that's nice, but we don't really want to listen to your music. Prefer to listen to our own. This is a bed. It just folds into like a, what size of bed would you say that is?
Oh, probably just a full-size bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not the most comfortable bed, but for kids or something, or for guests, if they need a place to sleep, that folds out.
And these do recline. I don't think I'm strong enough to get this lever back, but these go back.
There you go.
And you can push them all the way back.
So you could potentially sleep in that thing.
Or a child could sleep in this. Yeah. They're very comfortable. And then the table folds down.
Yeah, the pipe legs come off, and that table drops down, seats right in here, and then you can fold these back cushions down and throw them in the middle there, and makes a little bed for a kid or something. The lights, we got LED light bulbs in these, some of them, not all of them. I think this lamp here takes like regular like car bulbs, like automotive bulbs. Yeah. And the problem is they burn out constantly, so we have a surplus of bulbs we keep putting in there. These ones are LED, so yeah, they put out a nice soft light, and they last a long time. Moving on back here. This is our air conditioning and heater control, temperature control thermostat. This controls either AC or heat. This is your control panel here. This in and out for the awning. This has a big awning that folds out here to shade that side of the trailer. This is for one of the slide outs. This is for another slide out. So this whole section where V is, from here all the way past her, is a slide out. And it'll move all the way in when you're traveling, clear up to the counter here. When you get set up, you push it all the way out and it opens up this space. And then from here all the way down past the TV is another slide out, and that'll slide all the way in up to the counter here. So when both slide outs are in, you can't really walk past the counter here. It's very, very limited space to get in there. If we have to, if we're stopped at a truck stop or something, we just open the slide out enough where we can squeeze by to get back in there and get whatever we need.
Well, we can access the fridge, we can access the bathroom, and we can access the bedroom with the slides in. So if it ever came to having to stay someplace where you can't put your slides out, we can access the important things: bathroom, bedroom, food.
Yeah. These other buttons here, you've got the water pump. So if the water tank under the frame is full of water, you have to turn the water pump on. There is a connection outside. I'll show you where you can hook up a hose to city water. a water source, and that way you don't even need the water pump because you're just using the pressure that's coming in from the hose for your water. I got a water heater switch here. You flip that on for the electric. It does run on propane as well. You got outside lights. There's a big LED strip on the outside under the canopy, and then these are the inside kitchen lights. Up here you just have a little monitor that shows how much your tanks and your chargers. The first one is a battery, so when you push it, you'll see all 4 lights light up, and that means it's got a full charge. And then on the water tank, your freshwater tank, if you push it, it shows that it's empty. And you got a black tank, a gray tank, and another gray tank. So one gray tank's for the kitchen, one's for the shower and the sink. Got a nice bathroom in here, and this was a big selling point for us because we wanted a decent bathroom. We have a flush commode here that drops into our black tank. We've got cupboard space, which is important, more cupboard space, and a medicine cabinet. And then our shower. What we like about this shower, and a lot of RVs are different, but when you go into a shower, you need headroom. You don't want to be bumping your head on the ceiling. And you want elbow room where you can move around and wash yourself. And this thing has all of that. It's roomy. There's a lot of headroom. You got a skylight up there that lets light in during the day. Got this little rubber thing that keeps this together so when you're traveling they don't fly open. Then we move back to the bedroom. We have got a nice queen size bed in here. It's a short queen, so an RV mattress is going to be a few inches shorter than a standard size bed. So you can't buy like a regular mattress to put in here, a standard mattress. You have to get an RV mattress. And there are some places that sell custom mattresses to however you want. We replaced our RV mattress with a real nice mattress from a place called the Mattress Insider, and it's a foam mattress, but it's very, very comfortable. We have storage where these 2 storages have hangers where you can hang clothes in there, and of course you have to fold them at the bottom because they're not full length like a regular closet. There's a place where you can hang clothes, his and hers. We got storage up above the bed, and then there's this vertical closet here that down below is the furnace, so that's closed off down there, but up here you have more closet space. I'm going to say if you're interested in buying an RV trailer, travel trailer, a fifth wheel or whatever, take this into consideration. The size of the trailer is going to matter when you go to find a campsite. Not all campgrounds are designed to handle big long trailers, and we've been to state parks where only, well, let's put it this way, where there's a number of sites where this would not fit. Mm-hmm. And they don't always tell you that ahead of time. When you're making reservations, you'll get there and realize, ooh boy, how are we going to get this in there? So you got to take that in consideration. They get longer than 40 foot, and once you get up to that size, there are some campgrounds that won't even let you in. This one, 34 foot, we haven't had any problems getting in to campgrounds and getting set up, but some of the sites we've been at were just a little shaky. Because for everything to work properly, you want to level it the best you can. And leveling can be a challenge, especially if you get a campsite that's, where you have to back up a hill into it, and your front bumper or trailer jack only lifts the tongue so far, and yeah, it's hard to level them sometimes. So try to keep that in consideration to find a level place when you're looking for a campsite. We really like full hookup sites, because when we got a full hookup, that means we have electric So everything in here electric works, including the water heater and the water pump and everything. Then we like the water hookup, because when we have city water, we can use water indefinitely. We don't have to worry about running out, where when we have the tank filled that we haul around, that's only going to last you, 3 or 4 days max, unless you're really into rationing water. And it's almost a little stressful worrying about rationing water, so we like to have a full hookup, or we have a hose we can hook up to the RV.
Well, that's for our model.
Mm-hmm.
Some campers have bigger water holding tanks and can go, they're made for boondocking and holding more.
Yeah. Boondocking, the term boondocking you may not have heard of before. Boondocking is kind of like going out someplace where there's no hookups. There's no electric, there's no water, there's no sewer. And some of these units are made for that. That is, it means that some of these RVs and campers are made to go out into the wilderness where there's no hookups, where there's no electricity, there's no water, and there's no sewer. So the RV has to be designed to deal with that. They'll have a bank of rechargeable batteries that can be charged from solar panels that they have on the roof. They'll have a bigger water reservoir underneath that'll hold plenty of water that can last them for a week or so. And sewer, I suppose you come to a point where you gotta dump your sewer somewhere, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that have done that illegally, dumping it out on the ground just to get rid of it.
Or you find a place like a pilot, or you have to hook up your rig and take it and empty it at a place that allows it.
So that's what boondocking is, where you go places where there's no hookups. This one is not a boondocking unit.
No.
We wouldn't last very long out in the wilderness with no electricity, no water. The batteries we have in this would only probably run the water pump for an hour or two, and then we'd be stuck dead in the water.
But you can always upgrade those things.
Yeah.
You don't have to leave it stay that way. There is room for expansion.
You're right. There are plenty of upgrades that can always be made to these things if you're willing to do that, or you trade it in and you get the model you want.
Right. A toy hauler.
Well, let's take a look outside. I'll show you around out there just to give you an idea what's going on with the outside of this rig. We'll start at the front of the trailer. This is kind of clever. They got this little LED light strip here. And this one burned out, and I had to replace it not too long ago, which was a big pain in the neck. Long story to that, but I was able to do it myself. So this is a brand new LED light strip in there. There's also a little light here for lighting up your hitch if you have to hitch at night. You got the light on and off switch. And then this is the electric jack, which raises and lowers the tongue. No cranking. I think there is a spot here where you pull this plug out. You could stick a crank in there and you can crank it up and down too. Moving around, we got a front storage area. And this goes all the way through to the other side. Big storage area, so we could put all kinds of stuff in there. Same storage area, only from the other side. And I think you get an idea how big it is in there. I got my water hose in there for fresh water. I got a toolbox full of every tool I think I would need and equipment. This is the water heater up here. You can pop open this panel and runs on propane or electric. If you do have these, you got to check these occasionally for wasps or bees like to get in these things, and even stink bugs and things like that. There's the vent for the furnace. It just exhausts the carbon monoxide. You got 3 hose hookups here. Or a regular garden hose can screw up there. So city water is where you would hook a water hose up from the hydrant, which gives you water pressure and everything, gives you city water. Fresh water is going to be your water tank, so I would hook the hose up here at home to this one and fill the water tank up. And then when I'm dumping my sewer, this is a black tank flush, so I can hook the hose up at the dump station, turn it on, and inside the sewer tank it'll spray water around to rinse the poop out of there. This is my flush down here. I have these 2 valves which you pull out are gray water, and way up in there, that other valve is the black water that dumps the sewer out of this. I pull this cap off, I hook my sewer hose up, drop it into the sewer. This is my 30 amp electrical hookup here, which we use at almost every campsite we've ever been to. You got to have electric with these things to make them work right. This is the slide out where V was sitting in the recliner. They just kind of go out on a corkscrew kind of a thing that slides them in and out on an electric motor. We have electric stabilizer jacks. I'm not sure that this design of jack is the most stable thing, because we always got some kind of a wiggle in this one. Comes with a spare tire. This unit has a little barbecue grill on the back that we only tried using once or twice, and I guarantee you it was not even worth having it on there. It wouldn't even cook a hamburger. It just doesn't put out enough heat. On the back, these hookups we've never used. You got cable for the cable TV, you've got a satellite dish hookup, and another satellite dish hookup if you were at a campground that offered satellite. I meant to mention too, this grill, you pop this pin out here and this whole grill swings out on this arm. It'll swing all the way around here and sit right about here, and that accesses the outdoor kitchen, they call this. It's not much of a kitchen. But you got a little storage up here to keep some stuff. Some of them have a sink and a grill built in here. This one not so much. This one does have a refrigerator. So that's real handy to have outside if you need a drink, a brew or something, and you're sitting by the campfire. You don't have to go all the way in, dig around the refrigerator to get it. You got your own refrigerator outside here. Something else we've never used, there is a place to slide the TV in here. You can remove the TV inside the trailer, bring it out here, stick it in here, and watch TV outside. Not my cup of tea. I don't think I will ever use it. Have a standard GFCI electrical outlet there. Furnace here, and refrigerator up there. And then this, you got a speaker here and a speaker there for the outdoor speakers. You've got the canopy that comes all the way out, almost to the edge of the wood pile here. And we leave it rolled in most of the time because it just collects leaves and dirt when we're not using it. So there you go. The steps fold up and down. You can get more stable steps for these things. These work fine for us. The handle folds in for traveling. The door's got some locks on it. You can lock it up if you want. And then you got front stabilizers down there. Here's your button to extend or retract them, tighten them up. So there you go, guys. That is our Salem Hemisphere. It is a 272 RL, I believe. Like V said, it's a We bought it in the end of 2016. It's a 2017 model, and we really like it. I didn't show you, but there's a battery there. It's a marine battery. It's just one battery, so however long that would give the unit power, there's nothing really to recharge it unless it's hooked up to the vehicle. And then we've got two 30-gallon propane tanks there that'll heat our water and cook for cooking as well. So that's the story about camping right now. That's where we're at with camping. It works really, really well for us. We love it. We absolutely love it. And hopefully we're going to get out here. We got leaves falling already. Some of the trees are turning color, but that's the best time to camp. And hopefully we can cook some ham and bean soup or some chili or something over the fire. We're looking forward to that. Hey guys, I got to get going here, so until next time, take it easy. I'll catch you around.